There are two things that we get so backwards and so wrong when it comes to the Bible, certain religions, and the practice. And they're really very simple. Prayer. Prayer is a big one. Prayer has a huge misunderstanding about it. If you look all throughout the Bible, prayer is never about asking. Jesus, when he talked about how to pray, he never said ask, beg. That's actually not what was said. It was said to pray as if you already have the thing. Pray as if you already have it, as if it is already happening. It was never supposed to be to actually request something. You can, but there's no need to because Source already knows what you want. God already knows what you want. I mean, really, do you honestly, if you truly believe that God knows all, then you have to believe that God wouldn't need to actually hear you ask for something because your desires are easy to read. So it's not to actually ask, it's to pray as if it has already taken place. That is what prayer is. Prayer is about grace, it's about gratitude. This thing is never about being in a position of feeling as if you can't get it and you don't have it and feeling lack. It's about knowing that you come from abundance. You are in abundance. This whole thing is an abundance thing. If we don't look at abundance the way that we've seen abundance, which is money, where it's really just about money. We really think that if we have money, we have everything. But abundance comes in forms of all types of gifts. Someone can give you a house. Someone can gift you a vehicle. Someone can gift you money. It doesn't have to come in from the way that you have made yourself to believe, the main way that you've made money. True abundance has nothing to do with money. Money is just an aspect of abundance. But there's so many ways that abundance can come through. Abundance can come through ideas. Abundance can come through information that came to you just at the right time that you needed that piece of information. And that lead you to some experiences in money or certain things. That's really what is taking place. So this thing is not about asking for things. It's not about being in a place of lack. You are always in the space of having whatever you need. There's not even a such thing as not having what you need at the time. You might want more. You might be like, oh no, I can think of some stuff that I need right now. Yes, on the surface level, yes. But for the way that this place actually works, which is everything happening how it's supposed to, everything being a reflection of you and how you feel and how you're moving, it's not accurate, the things that you actually want that you don't have. It's really like, why do I have what I do have and don't have what I want? What is happening with that? Why is that my reality right now? What am I supposed to be getting from this? How did this take place? What am I supposed to be doing in the meantime of this while I don't have the things that I want? That's what is actually taking place. It's not a matter of I have to get to the thing or I have to chase it, I have to hustle. It's not a matter of that. It's so much slower and so much more internal than external stuff, than degrees and hierarchy and money and status. It's so much more of an internal thing. If it was about those things, then everyone who has those things on lock and in place would be at peace. The millionaires, everyone that has the things that you have that you feel like you really, really need right now and that you are missing out on and stuff, if that was the fix to the problem, then these people would be the most righteous, loving, just amazing people, and they would be just running the world with love and amazement. But that's not the case. We know that's not the case. So when it comes to prayer, yeah, prayer is about gratitude. It is supposed to be about what you already have, and it's supposed to be about knowing that you already have what you think you don't have. So instead of praying like you would like it and you want it, you pray like, I am happy to have it. I am so excited about it. This is going to be so amazing for me. I am so grateful to have what it is that I desire. Now it is in my vortex. Now it is coming. I don't know the day it's going to come up, but I am sitting here feeling it. That is what it says. Pray as if it's already taken place. The other thing that we get confused about and we don't really understand is gratitude. Gratitude. I know people are always like, I'm grateful. Like, one thing that we say all the time is, I am grateful.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
People will literally argue with themselves and you, because they'll be like, no, I'm grateful. But this is the thing. You know, it's like the question, is the glass half empty or half full? You're grateful, but you're complaining all the time. You're grateful, but you're complaining at all. Because maybe it's not all the time. Maybe it's from time to time. Maybe it's when things happen that you don't prefer. So then, are you grateful sometimes? Are you not grateful in those moments? You're grateful, but you are seeing certain situations as it being in lack. You're seeing yourself as, you're running out of time. Why don't I have this relationship? Why don't I have this thing? But you're grateful. That's an oxymoron. Those two things don't go together. When you are truly grateful, when you are truly living in gratitude for your life and for your earth experience, you are living in grace. You know, gratitude is grace. Let's look up the definition of grace real quick. Let me see. I like to look up definitions of stuff. Grace, smoothness and elegance of movement. Okay, so this is why we have a misunderstanding about gratitude, which is living in grace. This is why we have a misunderstanding of the word, what it means to be grateful and graceful.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Bring an honor, credit someone as something by one's attendance or participation.
20 minutes later.
What is the full meaning of grace? The freely given, unmerited favor of love of God. That is what I was looking for. Listen to this, you guys. It says, what is the full meaning of grace? The freely given, unmerited, that's like unconditional favor and love of God. The influence or spirit of God operating in humans to regenerate or strengthen them, a virtue or excellence of divine origin. That is what grace is. The definitions that we have, y'all, really mess us up. I'm so big on words, definitions, the etymology of things with my kids, because our definitions really mess us up. We have been looking at grace like only you being graceful and moving in a graceful, smooth, swaying way, or a very elegant, almost dainty way. Grace, being graceful for real, it's about living through the love of God. It's about living through the eyes of God. Being graceful is being grateful, and it is a lifestyle. It is an embodiment. It's a personality trait. Being graceful, living in grace itself, we need to really flip those definitions to where when we hear grace and we hear graceful, we're thinking more about that other than moving graceful. Because that way it will help us understand that most of us really aren't grateful.
Huh?
Now, again, we lie to ourselves and we play around with words with ourselves. So it's hard for you to be like, nah, yeah, you're right, I'm not grateful. Because you know that when you think about your kids or you think about, your home that you're in or what you do have, you know that you're grateful. So it's hard to It's hard for you to even admit that you're not grateful. But I'm telling you, the majority of people are not grateful. If you were living in that gratitude, when things don't go your way, it doesn't mean that every time you're going to respond like this right away. You could go through the emotions. You can go through the feelings of the opposite, but you're doing that to get through those feelings so that you can get on the other side of being grateful. And this is how your day-to-day life is. You are doing way less complaining if you are being graceful. If you are being graceful and you're living in grace, you're not complaining. You're not someone that's known to complain. And you're not used to complaining within yourself. You just know that complaining is just not something that you really do. When you're truly grateful. When you're truly grateful, complaining is just something that you don't do because you're living in grace. You're living through the eyes of God. And what is God? God is everywhere, is everything, is omnipotent, right? And there's no separation between you and God, right? So that is you. It shows you that you are born in grace. Your birthright is grace, which is unconditional love and unconditional gratitude. It doesn't go on and off. It's just the embodiment and the embedment of your overall life. Even when things happen that you don't prefer. Even when things happen that you don't like, you just live a grateful life. It means that you celebrate the small things. When you are living graceful, when you are living in grace and you are a graceful individual, you celebrate the small things. Everything is amazing to you because you are truly living in the moment and in the now. Like you don't skip when good things happen, when you just so happen to look on the ground and find $1 or something really small. Even when small things, quote unquote, small things happen, you notice those things because you are truly living in grace. You are truly grateful for your experiences in life. That's a big difference. That's a difference. The freely given, unmerited favor and love of God, the favor, that's what being grateful is. It's a difference. You can't be grateful and not be graceful. They go together. Being graceful is being grateful. Being grateful is being graceful. Now, you might have gratitude for specific things, but to say, oh, I'm grateful. No, I'm grateful. And then to still be complaining and to still feel like you're not where you're supposed to be and to still be dwelling on your past and to still be blaming your past and blaming the system and blaming men and blaming women, there's no way that you're graceful. There's no way that you are grateful. There's no way. It just doesn't go together. And that's okay. Now you're aware of it. But being graceful comes from what God comes from. That's unconditional love. That's understanding. If you are grateful, you are a more understanding, compassionate individual. You are being a lot more understanding about why people say the things they do and treat you a certain way because you are grateful. You live in that grace, in that gratefulness. You live in that. So you move gracefully. You think gracefully. You think through the love and the favor of God. That's what that is. You cannot say I'm grateful and still complain and still be thinking from lack and feeling from lack. And every time things don't go your way, you are, oh my God, if it ain't one thing, it's another. If you find yourself saying, I feel like it's always something. It's always something. If you find yourself saying any of those things, you're not living, you are not grateful and you are not living in grace. And I'm only telling you this because I love you. I am only telling you this because I love you. And it's the same thing that I tell myself. I'm not ever sharing anything that I'm not telling myself. And about 70 to 80% of the things that literally come out of my mouth are not just from me. They are being channeled from my higher self. So there are things that my guides have shared with me, that my team has shared with me, about me, about me, and my life, in certain instances in my time, in my life that or my experiences where I've needed this type of information. And gratitude has been a huge one. I've gotten a huge message about the way that I do gratitude, because I'm that person that notices all the little signs, y'all. Like, I notice all the little things, and I really trick my mind. Like, I have a really good way of looking at the solution and the other thing. Like, if you're solution based, you're probably a grateful person. You're probably living in grace, because you don't see the problems first. You see the solutions. And when you live like that, it's you living in gratitude. It's you really living in that grace. And so even if things don't go your way, it don't not go your way long. Like, it don't be that long. Soon as something slips up and happens that you don't prefer, another thing is coming through that you do, that's helping you out with that, because you're solution based. You're more optimistic. So this is another way of telling if you're a grateful person, because you are actually seeing the things that are good in the situation. You're seeing more of that. You're not seeing the problem all the time, or you're not dwelling and focusing on the problem because you're so solution based. Being solution based is being grateful, is living in grace. And that was a bar. And I'm not even trying to rap to you, man. I'm not even up here trying to rap to you, okay? I'm not even ever trying to rap to you. But being solution based is being grateful, is living in grace. And you cannot have one without the other. They are all the same thing. Again, it's our definitions that just be messing us up, but they are all the same thing.